Yo, yo,
What's
yo.
up, everybody? Welcome
What's
to
up,
Unbox
everyone?
Live, y'all. What up,
Hey,
bro?
hey.
How you doing?
What's up, Ken? Doing well, man. Doing well. I'm stoked to jump on live with you tonight.
Yeah, a lot of things happening. We're gonna talk about some of the things that NBA Top Shot has announced in regards to gifting. They did have an office hours where they, gave us a bunch of updates. So we'll go over some of that today. Shout out a few people in the community and talk basketball and whatever's.
Yeah, I want to know what moves you're making, and
Yeah.
it's just always so good to chop it up, man. Hey, well, I got a drink. Do you got one to kick
I
off the
do.
night? All
I
right,
just got a little. It's just a little maker's mark on the
okay.
rocks.
The
Just a tiny
rocks.
bit.
I
Cheers,
got a
bro.
little cacti.
Cacti.
Cheers.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
Apparently, this is like Travis Scott's little thingy.
Is it
His little
really?
seltzer. Yeah, agave spiked seltzer. It's
Oh
pretty
shit.
good. You got like a sweet tooth like me, you don't want to have too many of these because you'll probably get a headache. But
Yeah.
they're tasty. It's
Nice.
basically like a truly White Claw type thing, but
Yeah.
it definitely got
Nice.
some design swag.
Shout out to Travis Scott, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
His marketing team's doing work.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Let's get into
Oh man.
the first thing that the latest news that we got just a little over an hour ago was gifting. I know we've all been kind of waiting to see what's going on with gifting. The website was down pretty much all day the other day.
Yeah.
So Marketplace, the entire site was down. So they definitely were working on something big, and that added a few front end additions that we'll go over. But a lot of it seemed to be back end and mainly this gifting thing. So,
Which is essentially what I anticipated as well. I know a few people were speculating on like what big changes are going to be coming up, but when you think about what they need to do, they have a great product. It's a matter of how do they scale it and really make sure the technology is going to keep up with everything, especially with battling the bots.
right.
So they posted an update on gifting. It's part of a blog post that they did, and I'll go ahead and share that.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of outlines some of the things. So I figured, we can overview it, and then I'd love to get your initial impressions and thoughts. So update on gifting. After a brief pause on gifting, we beefed up the process to ensure that NBA Top Shot collectors retain the freedom to give moments to friends, fans, and family as designed, while also protecting the community from fraud, bots, nefarious activities that ultimately harm the community. Effective immediately, NBA Top Shot collectors will once again be able to gift their moments, provided they meet the new eligibility requirements. So these conditions may change again in the future as we adapt to satisfy the needs of our growing community. So looks like you got to have at least 20 moments in your collection.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
I don't have right now.
I don't either, actually. I sold some of my commons and just the ones that I weren't really attached to. So, I'm probably only at like 11 or something.
Dang. So everyone who we were waiting for the 7-day kind of holding period for some of our giveaways, and now we need to we need to build up.
We need to get more packs.
Hang tight. So yeah, you have to have 20 moments in your collection. It has to be 30 or more days passed since your first purchase.
Right.
So, I think, that goes back to when you got your account and you made either your first pack purchase or your first moment purchase.
Right. So if you've set up an account and don't have a moment, I suggest you just go and grab a moment online on the marketplace now, just so that 30 days can start today. So that's interesting. So it seems
if
like
you want to be eligible to gift, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's good to have that eligibility regardless, but I think it is helping out a little bit with, I think, just getting rid of a lot of the people that have multiple accounts. So I think that was a big issue on top of the bots, being sniping everything up, but having multiple accounts seemed to be a big issue as well, where you have multiple accounts and you're buying multiple packs and gifting them all to one single account that you'll collect. And I know they did a big crackdown on that recently, so it seems like they're just making these steps just to ensure that everyone's kind of following the rules, making sure that there's only one account per user, and it makes it, it's better for the real collectors in the community, I think. But I'm curious to know what's going to happen to all of these people with multi accounts that they can track, because we're on the blockchain and everything is transparent. Every single move that you make in Top Shot is recorded and it's accessible to anybody, which allows people to pull any of that data and track you down.
Yeah. I think with the multi accounts too. I kind of was exposed to I don't know why I'm getting a little bit of feedback from Urine, but I'm not really sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I was exposed to like maybe somewhat the concept of someone creating another account and then getting a pack on there and then just keeping that pack on that account and then just moving on to another account so that they can just sell the account login and password. And so I think that is something they would have to like battle, and make sure people aren't doing that. And so, they are definitely considering or they are definitely kind of monitoring that and keeping an eye out for that. And I think that goes with some of these other, like even the eligible moments to be able to gift, it has to be owned by that account for 7+ days. And the other thing too with the moments, that 7 days apparently starts not just when you own it, but if you list it and then delist it, the 7 days starts from there when you delist it.
Right. So you can't just buy a moment and gift it. You got to hold that moment for 7 days. And during that time, you can't list it on the marketplace, because once you delist it, that 7 days starts over. Real quick, what up, Robert? Thanks for joining us. How you doing, man?
What up, Rob?
Yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So it looks like, it's effective now. Unfortunately, we can't give away our moments yet, but we will definitely get on that as soon as we get our 20 moments. But it's interesting what's happening. What does that say?
I wanted to point this out too. Like, this was something, and we're going to get into just kind of a recap of the office hours that was on Discord last night. But, it's, and Jacob and Usman, like they said, I can kind of, you can hear this a lot, the whole beta excuse, but here it is. While in beta, they're going to continue to make optimizations to the product as we see fit. So while we're optimistic the change will discourage behavior that goes against our code of conduct and TOS, this should not be looked at as our final iteration of gifting.
Right. So it could change at any point. We don't know. But for now, they're going to try it out.
Yeah, and like when I think about the eligibility requirements, if you almost like reverse engineer like what the requirements are, it almost exposes what the problem they're recognizing or some of the themes they're recognizing. For instance, like most of the suspect gifting probably has accounts that have, 20 or less moments, right? Like maybe very few. They realize that it hasn't been 30 days past since their first purchase. Like these are brand new accounts. So I kind of look at this and then just reverse engineer it in my head and think about like, dang, what they must have recognized and spotted some of these patterns by just analyzing all of the data that's available to them.
Yeah, speaking of that, I want to share an article that Taylor Stein wrote, and it blew up in the Twitter community, and I believe they even mentioned it in the office hours. But it was a really interesting article about the VegasDave heist. And what was cool about it is he Taylor took the time to investigate this on his own, and he found this user, VegasDave, who ended up having an account, and he kind of makes these little graphs. I won't go through the whole article, but I'll just kind of briefly explain it. He makes this graph showing, VegasDave is the main account, and then he's got these other accounts around it, and he's using these 55 different Top Shot accounts that has gifted this Grailed account, and then this Grailed account then gifts all of those down to VegasDave. So it's really cool how they're able to find all this information on the blockchain and be able to identify these bad actors and just see where the problem is. And this is just one example of someone abusing the system, but it just shows the what's capable on the blockchain and how you can't really hide from this type of stuff, man. Like you're gonna get caught at some point. So if you are doing that, I would say it's unlikely that you'll be able to withdraw all of your stuff. I have a feeling at some point, especially like, for example, this VegasDave guy, they're probably not going to let him withdraw all of those moments and all that Dapper Balance. They're going to have to do something. And then the question is what are they going to do with those moments? Are they going to burn those, or how is that going to work? It can't just go back into the marketplace. So that's going to be interesting once they do, find all these accounts. Like, what's going to actually happen to these moments, and how are they going to deal with that? Because burning them would be an option where, if they do, unfortunately, everyone else will miss out on those moments. So they might have had a serial number one LeBron or something, that will no longer be in the marketplace and be available for someone else to pick up. So that's what I'm curious about, is what's going to happen next. And I think this is just one step that Dapper Labs is taking to slow this kind of bot issue down a little bit. But we're going to continue to see more changes as we go along and more updates. And I think it's just going to continually evolve, because these other multi-accounts or bots are going to innovate on whatever Top Shot does. So they're going to find a way to get around it after Top Shot, they make a change, and then it's just going to be, chasing your tail at that point.
Yeah, it is a cat and mouse game, and you've seen that in so many different areas, like even with piracy, right? Like people will find ways to get around and manipulate the system, but I think it'll be interesting. What's like very impacting is how it has an effect on the market, right?
Yeah.
Like this could drastically change the value of your collection or everyone's collections when things like this happen. So I'm not really down with the whole manipulation of the market when it comes down to that. So it's going to be really important for Dapper Labs to keep a close eye to it and really battle these different ways that people are gaming the system. And, who knows? And I think, Taylor Stein, right? He did a great job at writing that article. It's really well written, and he more so explains like what he's found rather than accusing. So it's just like, hey, this is some information that's available, and what's up with that? Yeah. And so I think that was just some really cool just journalism to a sense. And it really exposed just what can be done.
Yeah. So for all the people that might be frustrated on these, gifting restrictions and eventually pack restrictions, there's a reason why, and this is just one example, but there's a lot of that happening in the back end. And if you are a true collector and you want to grow with Top Shot, you're just going to have to roll with it. And it's still in beta, so we're going to have to just move with Top Shot, not against them. So other things that happened was the office hours. If you're not familiar with office hours, they host these Discord office hours. If you follow NBA Top Shot on Discord, they have a little hashtag, a room called office hours where you can post your questions. And then once a week, they go on and they do an audio chat where they address a lot of these questions. So I want to share some of the things.
Doing it twice a week now.
Oh, really?
I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's what I heard, but what I love is that the community managers, Usman and Jacob. Eisenberg, they do such a great job at just keeping in touch with the community, being the face of NBA Top Shot. And I love the level of transparency that they've offered. So just being able to jump into Discord, leverage the live audio tool, and tap into their office hours, and then they record those, put them on YouTube. But I love just being able to get the updates. And dude, thank you so much for posting some of your notes on Unbox Live's Twitter feed. I thought that was really helpful as well. So thank you.
Yeah. So as I was listening to it live, I was just taking notes, and I decided instead of taking notes, I'm just going to tweet the notes as I go, so people can get those updates on Twitter Live. So if you follow us at Unbox Live, I try and keep everyone informed with whatever I learn as it comes in. But this is what some of the MomentRanks. Shout out to MomentRanks. They did a little outline of notes from the office hours. So it happened April 7th, and it was Jacob and Usman. And one of the first things they started talking about was Hardcourt. And I know we mentioned that, in one of our previous episodes, but Hardcourt is going to be the arcade game that's associated with NBA Top Shot. They didn't release too much detail in what it's going to be, other than it's going to be an arcade style game. Players on your team are a shell, and moments are used as a sword and shield type thing to improve or power up your players. So that should be fun to add a little utility to your moments, and it kind of inspires you to collect certain things to build up your player, and it's almost like building up your stats in 2K or your points just to get better, better shooting percentage or whatever it is. Who knows? Yeah. We'll see. But I think that's a fun thing that they mentioned, and they're going to start testing soon. It's going to be non-Top Shot affiliated users testing it. So that should be rolling out. Yeah. So they are doing like a beta test.
People who aren't collectors.
Yeah, it's just going to be people that aren't part of Dapper Labs. So it'll be just normal collectors.
Okay.
So that's going to be happening. Another big thing, because what we noticed when the challenge ended for the Rising Stars 2 challenge, and also the LeBron Seeing Stars challenge, the Cool Cats challenge, as soon as those challenges end, all the moments that were a part of that challenge just take a complete nosedive. It's kind of comical almost, but it's rest in peace to all of those moments that were in the challenge. And literally, I took a screenshot at 9:59 of what the value was of the Rising Stars moment, and then at 10:01, I took the next screenshot, and like some of them, like the Halliburton, instantly dropped $300, and all of those just dropped almost 50%, and immediately. So it's clear there's an issue with that. And what they really wanted to be clear about was all of the moments that have been used in previous challenges can and will be used in another challenge. So they don't lose value once the challenge is over. They're going to use the same moments in other challenges later on down the line.
That's interesting.
So I think that's something that they want to remind everybody, just so we don't see that issue happening. You know, people think they lose value and they need to just get rid of them because they don't need it for the challenge. But those same moments are going to be in other challenges. So the question is like, well, now should we scoop up all of those seeing stars moments again and scoop up? Because if they said that they're, you know, going to be using those in challenges again, it just, you know, which ones are they going to be? And who knows? But I think that's just something to think about when you are, you know, trying to complete a challenge. We've all kind of learned the trends of everything dipping as soon as the challenge ends, but you know, it might be worth it to hang on to them just so, you know, if they do use those in another challenge, you already have them and don't have to rebuy everything. Other things, go ahead.
I was just going to say the whole challenge thing. I think I was just asked in one of my group texts from the homie C-Wise, who's on our last show. He was asking, like, can moments be like, can the challenge moments, will they be reused in other challenges? And prior to the office hours, I was like, possibly, but not likely.
Right.
However, you know, it was so cool to kind of hear that. And I think they do need to continue to experiment and figure out like challenges and really figure out the dynamics on how to avoid some of those things where, you know, it's going to continue to discourage people to complete those challenges if the money that they put in on completing the challenges, if it's less expensive for them to just go and wait and buy the reward.
Right.
You know, like, so there has to be some sort of way to incentivize people to partake in those challenges. From, you know, I think it may be coming up because I saw one of your tweets on the about the office hours saying something about eligibility for packs. And, you know, I was thinking, like, will you need to complete a challenge in order to be eligible for a legendary pack? What did you hear about eligibility on like legendary packs?
Well, the thing that I kind of learned, and again, this is all just, nothing is confirmed. It's some of it is speculation, some of it is stuff heard through Discord from Roham or whatever. But it seems like there's going to be more than one option to be eligible for a legendary pack. So it won't be just like, hey, you need to have completed a challenge, otherwise you can't get a pack. It might be something like you need to either complete a challenge or, you know, win a showcase contest or something else, or
have some multiple eligibility requirements.
Right. So they don't want to isolate anyone, and they don't want to make it harder for people to get packs, but they do want to reward the collectors and the people who are participating in, you know, the community and participating in completing challenges or building showcases, acquiring, you know, adding real money to your Dapper Balance to collect moments versus only buying packs. So things like that. Again, it's all speculation still. Nothing's going to be confirmed, but these are just things that, you know, they're talking about, and they don't want to announce anything yet because we saw what happened, you know, when they announced the eligibility for the rare Rising Stars pack. The day of, they said, you know, you need to have at least 3 moments in order to buy this pack. And then what happened, you know?
Everyone just started buying these floor moments, and it was crazy.
So all the floor moments just rose up and got really high, and then as soon as people got the packs, they just dropped right back down.
Or didn't get a pack, like people were spending
spending
$15,
all that money
$20 on 3 moments just to meet the eligibility requirements in a short amount of time. And then all of a sudden, there wasn't even a pack available for them because they didn't get selected in the queue. They didn't get a good place in line. So that really sucked. And I feel like this whole last month, I mean, we had that incredible peak at the end of February, right? Like where the volume was just crazy. And then we saw influx of new signups, and then they had to like pause signups. In fact, I believe the signups are paused even right now, where people who are looking to sign up are entered into like a waiting list.
Yeah.
And so they are careful because new signups that's another lever that needs to be monitored and adjusted and flowed in a really good way, because new signups have an effect on the market.
Yep.
There's correlation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. Wasn't there something about the baller status, like that possibly being something?
That's another thing is he mentioned, the baller status can be another requirement or eligibility for packs. So currently there's a lot of issues with the baller status. So a lot of people were kind of freaking out like, hey, it doesn't even work. Like I've created a showcase and then I don't get my points. And so, and they're completely aware of that issue, and they're definitely working on fixing that. But they said that it can, be another way to be eligible for packs later on down the line. So, that's just another thing to keep in mind. And when they do fix this up, it'll be nice to kind of fill in those points and get your baller status up and not have to worry about being eligible for legendary packs later on or something. But who knows if this is going to be the only requirement? Again, it might be either or. So there's a lot of ways that show that you're a true collector versus just a flipper or someone who has multi accounts. So I think that's what they're trying to really identify, is what defines a true collector. And what can we do to be able to pull that information and build that into the code, so that way when you're in the queue, it knows automatically you're a collector based on the criteria. So I think they're really just trying to identify, what is the definition of a collector, and we're all just trying to figure that out as well. So I think if you're awesome. If you're playing the game right and you're just you're a normal collector, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I think they're not trying to isolate anybody. They're not trying to do a rich get richer thing. They just want to make sure that there's an even playing field. So we just got to be patient and just see what other moves that they make. Another thing they mentioned is 40 accounts were actually shut down last weekend for multi-accounting and botting. So they did close 40 accounts, which means they've identified the issue and they decided they no longer should have the account. What they did with those accounts and what they did with those moments, we don't know. But they did verify that they've already closed 40 accounts last weekend. So couple other things. Let me go to this other page here of notes here.
Real quick on that. Real quick on, it mentioned in one of the bullet points, like it's not a get rich quick scheme or whatnot. And I tie back into how do we define a collector being like, who are the customers that Dapper Labs needs to fight for and just make sure is protected in all of this. A lot of people jumped into Top Shot as a pure investment opportunity, which I don't blame them, right?
Yeah.
Especially considering the hype and all of that. And what we may start to see in the market currently, as it's starting to balance out, like, let's be honest, my account is lower like I feel like I'm down just due to the fact that everything's been tanking. But what I'm hoping, and my hypothesis is, like, all the people that came in to get rich quick is starting to be like, yo, this is kind of BS. Like, I'm gonna start exiting out, which is why so many people are just like, yo, I need like, why don't you work on withdrawing? You know, and people, by the way, I'm eligible to withdraw. So
nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. And Jason Holmes says, I heard they will freeze those accounts and basically leave the moments in purgatory. That's interesting. Huh. That's an interesting
I mean, that's the safest thing that they can do, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Like, is just leave it in purgatory, and, you know, who knows? Maybe we can raffle them off. Maybe we can do something cool for the community, like donate them back. I don't know. But
speaking of that, you know, there is a lot of talk about the NBA Top Shot account on Top Shot. So NBA Top Shot has their own account where they own a bunch of moments, and it's actually the highest valued account right now. And you know, I guess that's a lot of the moments that they might be hanging on to for, you know, whatever reasons, customer service or gifting or, you know, the community. Who knows? There's a lot of speculation out there about, I know Greg Murray mentioned a bunch of stuff about it and First Mint. So it's interesting that, you know, there's an official NBA Top Shot account that does hold a lot of, you know, serial number one moments and, you know, other things that, you know, someone couldn't
like
have gotten in a pack, but
it's like a digital museum, you know?
Yeah, it could be. But the thing is like they can do something with those moments. So, you know, who knows what they can do, but, you know, it might be beneficial to us somehow.
Yeah, and, you know, assuming anyone from Top Shot, whoever owns that particular account, is not going, you kind of have to trust that they're not going to use those moments for personal gain, that you would have to put it back into the community somehow,
right?
Or do something that's going to benefit the collectors in a way that's going to, you know, whether it's promote Top Shot or promote the NBA or promote the community. But, you know, I know Roham committed to not selling any of his moments, which is kind of cool, because you know, he's obviously, anything that goes on the blockchain, you gotta, it's official. And there's so many moments that haven't been sold, so many legendary packs that haven't been opened, and, you know, you still don't know what to do with those, right?
Yeah. So other things that they mentioned, if you did get the pre-order packs, they will be, you should have them in your account by April 16th or sooner. So that should be coming up next week. So look out for that. They'll send another email. We did just get an email today reminding us about that officially from Top Shot, but those should be coming in next week. And then they also mentioned that, you know, a good ballpark for prices of packs. They said legendary packs are around $9.99, like the Holo Icon. The rares between 100 and 350, and commons between 10 and 30, which is nothing really new there. I guess that's kind of what we expected, but I guess they just kind of reiterated that just to let us know the tiers and what the price range is going to be for those.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting when the marketplace was down and it had that yellow banner across the top saying down for maintenance. When I went to the home screen, it had like a visual breakdown of the different tiers and the costs for the different packs.
Yeah,
I should have taken a screenshot because I was looking for it afterwards and I can't find it. But it was pretty cool. I just love the design that they are. The entire user experience is just something that they're doing really well, and it's something that entices me to, like, keep coming back, keep checking.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's kind of the point. You know, they just want to make sure people want to keep coming back and not get sick of it. So they gotta stay on top of it. But another thing is, you know, one of their main focuses right now is getting withdrawals out, and they have a huge backlog of withdrawals applications that they need to go through, and that's why it's taken so long for people to get their withdrawals. And especially the users where they really have to investigate and see if they have multi accounts and see if there's any shady shit going on in the background. So luckily now, since they have that $305 million investment, they're able to hire a lot more people to try and expedite that a little bit more. But Roham's really biggest concern right now is getting everybody their withdrawal capability and for their dappers. So that's something that he did want to kind of mention, just make sure it's clear. Like, look, yes, we want to add these new features. Yes, we want to drop packs. Yes, we want to get a bunch of new signups, but our priority right now is let's get our existing users withdrawal access. And then we can focus on scaling more and opening up the signups. So that's why it's being held up as far as new users coming in, because they have a huge backlog that they need to go through of hundreds and thousands of accounts and manually investigate and check your identity, make sure that you're not doing any shady shit. You're playing the game the way it should be played.
Yeah, and just some things to expect when you go to your Dapper Balance and you hit withdraw money or withdraw Dapper Balance. When I got prompted again to just go through entering some information, and it had me scan my ID. Had me kind of go through like a ID verification. I scanned my driver's license, and now I have the ability to do like a payout by a wire transfer.
Okay.
And if I do a wire transfer, there's a $25 processing fee per request.
Oh,
so
man,
yeah, that's something
kind of brutal.
I think it's worth knowing. I mean, if it's a wire transfer, those are pretty common as far as like processing fees.
Not Dapper Labs pocketing that money. That's all just the banks having to process that.
But it is a heavy tax, you know what I'm saying? So
it is.
So
if you're selling a moment for $25 more than what you bought it for, then you're going to be breaking even. So don't.
Yeah, or if you're
keep
just
that in mind when you're trying to undercut people or you're trying to sell off your moment real quick.
I was going to say, or if you're just trying to cash out like $25.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point. Bro.
Yeah. If you only have 2 moments and you have 2 Montrez Heralds in your account, then
you're gonna lose money on
this. You're gonna lose money by owning two treasures. Oh man, but that's it is what it is. We just gotta roll with it. It does kind of suck for a lot of the people that have invested thousands and thousands of dollars at this point, and I can totally feel their frustration right now, because even if they're not multi-accounters or bots and they're not taking advantage, they're in here to invest, and they felt like this was a great investment opportunity and they moved thousands of dollars into it. Like, I would want my withdrawals as well, so I can keep moving that money around. So I understand the sense of urgency and the frustration within the community that couldn't get it, but it's something that is going to take a long time. So
also, one thing that I noticed, like for like a $5 fee, you would be able to withdraw it like through ETH or through crypto, and I don't see that anymore. So I could be missing something, but when I go and try to withdraw my balance, I don't see.
You don't see the option to go to your crypto wallet?
Nope.
It's only to your bank. Interesting.
Only wire transfer right now. So I don't know if that was like part of the most recent update that happened today.
Yeah.
Speaking of what happened today, the marketplace is back up, and I would love to just kind of have this as a moment for us to talk about what moves you're making. So
Yeah, I
Love
think
to talk about how you're making moves right now. What's your
yeah.
strategy
One thing
with
that
marketplace?
I've kind of well, first off, I started using the MomentRanks new feature here, which is MomentRanks.com. If you don't know them, check them out. Go follow them on Twitter. They're the ones who I was just showing those office hours notes from. But this is you could see it automatically just updating and changing live. So we can instantly see all these live new listings. But what's cool about it is you're able to quickly filter it. So like what I'm doing is, I have my eye. I've been having my eye on the no look 3 LeBron, so I could type in LeBron. I'm looking to buy back my Tyrese Halliburton that I sold right before the challenge
Oh,
ended
damn.
because
You
I
can do
knew
multiple
that
players.
yeah, so I sold that, and now now that's low, I could buy it back. So if I'm looking for those two, I can say price range between 300 and 800, and now I'm only going to see LeBrons and Tyrese Halliburtons that are within that price range. I'll be able to see like when it's the lowest ask and how much they're asking. The MomentRanks value, so they give you like an estimated value at the top left, that 552 number, based on the serial number that's on
That's
there.
right.
So
Not
it
just the
gives you
lowest.
not just the lowest ask. So the previous lowest also is there, the 550. So
Oh, that's
it's just
dope.
a really quick tool that just allows you to get live updates to just watch all the things that you want to buy. And you might, for me, once I sold some moments and I built up some Dapper Balance, I didn't want to jump straight into just buying something right away. I kind of want to sit and watch and really try and read the waves, understand, as things go down and as things go back up, and when they go back down, you start to read the waves. And then when you find that, something has hit the floor and the bottom, that's kind of where I decide to, wait until the next lowest ask that maybe has, instead of a 5-digit serial number, there's a 4-digit serial number at the lowest ask. Then maybe I'll jump on that, So
Yeah.
it's just a great tool that just allows me to sit back and watch instead of constantly refresh and move around tabs on my iPhone or on my laptop, because I'm constantly, switching between tabs of different players that I'm watching and refreshing. The only thing that I notice is that there is a 30-second delay from when it actually hits the marketplace. So
No
when you're
way. It
dealing
says
with,
it's live, no?
well, it's live, but I mean, it's technically it's about 30 seconds. So you can get outsniped pretty easily if you are only using this tool right here. I mean, it's for those times where there's a pump and everybody's just buying at one moment because, something happened. That's where you'll usually get, outsniped. But if you're just watching a moment that you've been watching for days or weeks even, this is a great way because, usually I'm not going to, if I decide to buy or if I decide I want something, I'm not going to just buy it right away. I've done that before, and I've made a lot of mistakes on Top Shot already since I started, and I've learned from those, and I've learned to just be a lot more patient and don't use a lot of your emotion in it. But I know which moments I want, and I'm just going to keep an eye on the ones that I want. And you might get it at the lowest very bottom, or you might get it 10 or 20 bucks above the bottom, but at least you'll get an idea of the trends and reading
Yeah.
the waves and understanding when things are on a downwards trend versus an upwards trend. So this
That's
actually
dope.
allows me to just see every single listing, whether it's the lowest ask or whatever it is. And I just get to see what people are valuing their moments at. And then if I see a good deal, I can just go right here, just click buy, boom. It just takes you directly to the Top Shot page. and then from here you could just go and buy it. It looks like someone just bought that when I clicked on it.
So
See?
that's what's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's tough because if you see a good deal, then you're bound to get sniped like that.
Exactly. So that's the thing is if you're looking to snipe, I mean, this is a good way to kind of read the market. And I have been successful with getting a good serial. I did actually just buy the full disclosure. I bought the LeBron No Look 3 again for the second time. I doubled down on it just because it is at a low, and I feel like
it's such a great
one of the
moment.
moments that is going to live on forever. And I could literally just watch that on loop all day. So those are the things that I'm buying. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the Anthony Edwards Dunk of the Year, Rising Stars. That's a little out of my price range right now, but my goal is to try and flip a few things over time as they increase value and try and catch that when it's at a dip. So yeah, that's kind of my moves. What about you?
Well, as far as making moves, one of the things that I've been doing was I'm like you. I'm just trying to observe the market, really start to learn what moves are being made, how the market reacts to certain things. And one of the most recent things I did was, per your text, you're like, challenge is about to end. And when the Rising Stars challenge hit the market or was about to end, I already went to look knowing that, hey, in the past it's dipped. And as soon as the challenge ends, people are just offloading all of the eligible moments at a really cheap price, for whatever reason. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I happen to pull in a pack a MPJ, Rising Stars, Michael Porter Jr. And I'm like, great. It was a cool pool. I'm not the biggest MPJ fan, and so knowing that, okay, it's at like 390 right now, 360 I think is what I ended up selling it for.
And you sold it like 10 minutes before the challenge ended?
No, I think it was a little more than that, but it was within the hour, right?
Yeah.
So within the hour, I sold the MPJ for 360, 370. I have to double check. Yeah. And then so got that in my Dapper Balance. I think it took me less than I wasn't even lowest ask at first. Minutes. Yeah, it took me 5 minutes, and I think lowest ask was at like 330. I was like, let me do 360.
You had a good serial too. It was 1122.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And then like 5 minutes later, boom, got the notification. I'm like, cool. Now I have that money secured. I'm gonna wait until this Ja Morant dips after the challenge ends, and sure enough, that thing dipped under 400.
Yeah. So you just basically traded your MPJ for a Ja Morant, dude. That's
pretty much.
That's a solid trade.
Full transparency, I added like a little bit of Dapper Balance to make up for the difference, but it was just like, man, for me, it was basically I traded my MPJ, waited for the challenge to end. Everything dropped. The MPJ is going for like 200 something right now. Yeah. And then I just copped the Ja Morant, and through copping the Ja Morant at the low price, the lowest ask, obviously I'm looking for like a good serial number. It's out of 2021, so
Yeah.
But man, I can't tell you how many times I got sniped, man.
Oh,
like it's crazy.
Yeah. As soon as that challenge ends, like everybody's on there just trying to
everyone's trying to do the same
sale,
thing,
man, because they're like, oh, it's about to drop. You guys ready for this sale? Here we go. And then they're just boom, 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 refresh. Dude, I know. I've had like you have that email where it's just like all dapper emails that say, sorry, your transaction failed. Sorry. Oh
was
my God.
nasty. And there's some that were like really good 3-digit serial numbers
I
too.
know.
And I was just like, oh shit, come on, let's go. And then
You're
it's
just
like
waiting.
fail.
It says pending, pending, pending,
Yeah,
failed.
I would go through the whole process, like boom, use
Oh
Dapper Balance,
man.
boom. All right, cool. Pending,
Yeah.
failed. Go back, do it again.
Yep. Find the next
So,
one. Yeah,
but
but you know that's something
I got
that
my John Morant, dude,
yeah,
and it's a
dude.
sick moment.
Yeah, that the behind the fucking
She just
that
launches it.
3-pointer is just like yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
you
man,
need
that's
to
a
pull
great
up the LeBron, and I need to pull up that.
Which one? Oh, the no look 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
But
show you.
dude,
I mean,
I
this is
was stoked to come up on that. Let me see if I came up on anything else. I'm honestly looking now, just because everything's considerably low. Well, I came up on the Clint Capella.
really
Clint
nice.
Capella, yeah, man, and that's already. It's not going crazy, but it's already doing better than what I got it for.
That's a good sign.
But it's a Top Shot debut, and
Nice.
Clint Capella, dude, sleeper. Plus
Yeah.
the Atlanta Hawks, they had like a nice little streak going, and then they lost recently. But guess who's out? Clint Capella. So this guy's been putting up double doubles. I feel like this guy is going to have a bright future in the NBA. He just needs a team around him.
Yeah.
But he's a good 4-5.
So which one did you get? Can you share it? Is it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Is it his? It's his first common moment, right?
Yeah, it's a Series 2 common. Nice. 76.94 out of 12,000.
Okay.
But
is it
just a nice little. Yeah.
Nice.
But
dope.
Don't sleep on Mr. Capella.
All right.
Not at all.
It's good to know, man. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things I'm just kind of eyeing right now, but I still don't feel fully confident in making a lot of moves yet because we still are experiencing the volatility. Yeah, it's extremely lows, and who knows if it's going to keep going down lower. But for me, I know the LeBron for me was just like it doesn't even matter at this point. Like it's later on down the line, I know it's going to be worth more than $600.
You're going to want that too. That's like such a dope moment. And we were talking about this offline too, but like, when the Lakers won the championship last year, the bench and the energy, that was something that you didn't necessarily see in the league. And I feel like all the other players are kind of looking over like, man, how do they're having fun. Yeah. And we talked about like this moment with the turnaround 3 where Schroeder was like, yo, bet you won't make that.
Yeah.
That's just like
that felt like a bonding experience right there. I felt like that was like the moment where they're like, we're all fucking friends here. Let's have a good time, man.
Let's have fun.
Yeah, so that's why I love it, because the whole reaction of the bench after he made that. And I remember watching that game live too. So, and when I saw it, I was just like, I lost my shit. So those are the moments that I want to own, is when I watch a game and I lose my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And by the way, what up, Matt?
Matt Gant, what up?
Hell yeah. But yeah, did you want to show off that moment real quick for those that haven't already seen it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I already showed it. I'll show it again. I don't mind, but mine's a little choppy. But this, yeah. And awesome. Look at how many of the bench ran onto the court, like during the game.
Love that.
Can't you get fined or suspended for that? Look what happened to THT.
THT got suspended for a game for running on the court and just standing there like.
That was terrible. All he did is run up and he was just
THT.
Like, what's going on? And now he can play today, and then we fucking lost, of course, because THT ain't on there. Which I own his first moment too. I definitely had to cop that. I overpaid for it, but it is what it is. I'm a hold.
that's the other thing. I want to start looking and start building my Laker roster,
Yeah.
and at some point, I gotta think to myself, like, at what point am I going to actually start believing, okay, this is low, because you want to buy the dips, buy low, sell high. And right now, you can always have that fear that it's going to go lower. But when you end up truly believing on seeing the vision for Top Shot, seeing what you can do with all of these moments, then for me, like getting this jaw, I'm super stoked that I got a rare in my collection because I dished out that Michael Porter Jr. And I got this jaw.
Yeah.
And this is just ridiculous.
That shot, man. Look at that form, dude. Oh man, he would make that, dude. I wanted to get his other moment where he steals and then he like does a little dance at the end of the game when but yeah, he's again another player that he's going to be around for a while. He's going to be an all-star. I hope he continues to just kind of up his game more. It has been a little bit inconsistent for from his injuries in the past, and I would like to see him be a little more consistent. But I love him as a player, and for someone, what is he, like 6'3"? Or he's not that tall, but I mean, dude, he has fucking hops, dude. Like he can dunk,
6'3",
like he just
174
lifts, which I love. Him, like Cole Anthony as well, another guy who's shorter, like 6'3", but could fucking jump and can shoot wild deep shots like that. But anyway, that it's fun. This is the fun of NBA Top Shot, is like collecting the moments and players that you really love and you want to hold on to. You don't want to just get it to just flip it. And if you have faith, and just remember, we're still in the regular season. Like once playoff hits, there's so much more attention on the NBA and basketball. And I feel like when the playoffs come, we might see a lot more people come into Top Shot. And when we get more people, that means a healthier market. So, for the regular season, I think for me, just watching it right now and having my Dapper Balance available, and
that
waiting
buying
for
power.
have that buying power, and just waiting for the right moment to grab whatever the ones that I really want, and then just watch it just grow. You know what I mean?
And just using tools like MomentRanks, how they have the deals thing. I think that's so cool because you get to learn the market. You get to observe at this point. Like right now, what a great time to just observe and understand it and just see what things are going for. You don't have to necessarily put money in. Like it's so volatile right now.
Yeah, and speaking of observing, that new feature that they added on the NBA Top Shot website, when you go to the marketplace at the top here, now you get to actually see the latest sales. So I can click view more, and I could just literally sit here and just watch all the latest sales come up, and you get to see the trends and what people are buying right now. And it's kind of like Crypto Slam. We had that in Crypto Slam where you could see the live sales, but now it's built into the marketplace in NBA Top Shot. So it's cool that they're adding little features like that. Rather than just seeing what's available for sale, you get to see what people actually bought. So you get to really get an idea of what the value is and what the trends are and who's hot right now. If you start to see a whole bunch of PJ Washingtons pop up, then you're like, okay, this guy's moving up. Maybe it's time to move in on him. You know what I mean?
It does show the volume. Greg Murray put out some really good infographics on like who had the most transactions in the last month, and you kind of got to see that. And I think volume is absolutely something that correlates with the value of some of these moments. So, understanding the volume, how often they're getting traded, how many sellers are transacting these is definitely a key factor. And didn't you see someone let go of a Kawhi?
Yeah, someone like a couple hours ago, someone just sold a Kawhi All-Star Rare for $5, and someone
And how
just
much
came
do
up
they
on
go
it.
for?
Let's take a look. So it was this one. Why? Sorry, my internet is kind of slow, so if it's real choppy. So it's going for $230 right now.
Damn. And go to the
So if you
latest
go
transactions.
down
Let's see if
here, here it is,
oh my
$5. Kentucky just came up on that for $5,
yo,
dude. And
but
it
then
happened
sold it.
6:15 p.m.
But look,
Uh,
a
let me
minute
see.
later or 30
Well,
minutes later, go back.
how much did he? Oh, he did sell it.
Yeah, go back. Dang, 30 minutes
So
later,
he.
made a profit.
Oh yeah, he bought it for 5 and instantly sold it for 209 to buyer 0.00000. I mean, that's a quick come up. That's a snipe,
Ooh.
dude. And I mean, that's the power of sniping. So when you see, I mean, it happened with the LeBron. Someone bought the LeBron for $5, and it happens sometimes. So if you're sitting there watching these moments and you're refreshing and you're the first one to see it, you could be that lucky one to get that $5,
That's why you're over there on
$200
Moment
moment.
Ranks.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, MomentRanks has a 30-second delay, so that would be gone instantly. You know,
Dang.
that had to have gone in a second, at least 1 second.
Oh.
You just got to be right at the right place at the right time, looking at the exact moment that you know.
And chances are you're one of like 10 people that are like on the same checkout screen.
Oh my gosh, probably more than that. You know. But anyway, it was fun catching up, man. I think we've covered a lot of stuff. You want to kind of give a couple shout outs?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to, as we continue to do this, I feel like we don't like putting people down. We like putting people up.
Yes, sir.
And so I want to do like a little community put up because I think we should recognize some of whether it's accounts or people that that are part of the community that's offering a lot of value to you personally. I would like to hear about it and put them up, while we have an opportunity. And so I'm curious, who would you like to put up on this episode?
Well, I mean, since I've been talking about it a lot already, like a huge shout out to MomentRanks, man. I think that's using their website to just keep an eye on the things that I want to get. I follow them on Twitter. They're always posting good content, and just I see the vision of what they're doing, and I think it's something that is going to continue to grow. So shout out to MomentRanks, man.
Awesome. And Jason Holmes, thank you, man. I appreciate love that you enjoyed the show and dropped the like in the sub. Man.
Yes, that's right. Thank you for reminding us, Jason. Please, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe. It really helps out. Let's get more people in here. Let's party. So what else?
So I want to put up Max Minsker.
Okay. Yeah.
Coincidentally, and I didn't necessarily plan this that you put up MomentRanks, but he actually coincidentally just joined the MomentRanks team as a content creator. So shout out to Max Minsker.
Yeah.
You know
follow him
what?
on Twitter.
The reason why was actually for a Twitter thread that he posted, and I just we retweeted it on Unbox Live's Twitter account. I'm going to see if I can pull up that thread right now, but I will be sure to tweet it on Sean Nana's Twitter account.
Yeah.
But man, and
what did you kind of take away from that?
Just kind of like the overall flywheel of how user signups kind of turn into, I have to pull it up, but he was really able to kind of showcase why he's bullish on Top Shot, and the way things are working. And he really correlated the market with Dapper Labs. So if you think of Dapper Labs as a startup and they have an application that they're building, he kind of showcased what the flywheel looks like in order to grow the application, and really made some really great correlations with user signups and transaction volume, the price increases, and then like the social media hype. And I think that was one of the coolest things, like where you began to really go through his different tweets, and he kind of posted it within the thread. Let me see. I finally got it pulled up. So let me just quickly show it off. We won't go deep into it, but y'all got to follow this guy. And if he continues to put out amazing content and analysis like this, then it's going to be well worth follow. But Top Shot growth flywheel. So new signups turn into increased transaction volume, turns into price increase, turns into social media hype, and then it kind of has this flow. And right now there isn't new signups, right? So we're not going to see increased transaction volume, and we're not going to see some of the price increasing. So he starts replying to himself in the thread, and he points out point number one: Top Shot is far from a mature platform, right? And then starts to kind of outline the growth of unique buyers by month. And so you can actually, based on the historical data, where do you anticipate it's going to, like, where do you project that to go? Introduces the flywheel, talks about liquidity, the importance of withdrawals, unlimited onboarding. So it just goes through. If you kind of go through this thread, it's amazing. And
it just definitely really just gives you faith in the platform, and just helps you understand what's happening right now and what's going to happen. And
it's really good perspective.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, this was great. It's great hanging out with you. Great going over all this stuff.
Always,
finally
man.
Get to chop it up about all this. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at UNBX Live. And also you can follow Sean and I at Sean Nana, at Ken Nana. And real quick shout out, if those of you that don't know, I'm a musician. I'm in a band called McKenna, MIKNNA. And I will be releasing a new song tomorrow with the talented Riva DeVito. So look out for that on Spotify. If you go to Spotify, type in MIKNNA. Sorry, I don't mean to do a little shameless plug, but I'm excited about this song.
Stoked. You know, I am so stoked.
All right.
Mike and Ken make amazing music. They go by the duo name of McKenna. Y'all got to check that out. It's no joke. Ken created the intro music, which is, man, Top Shot, Dapper Labs. Y'all should be listening. But yeah, congratulations on the drop. Excited to be bumping that. It's available out on all the platforms.
Yep.
And you know what? We're starting to do a simultaneous live stream to both YouTube as well as Twitch. So, you know, please feel free to hit that follow or sub button. It's free to do. You know, hit that like button if you like this. And, you know, please tell any friends or family that is interested in Top Shot, NFTs, or think they would just enjoy hanging out with us. Or if you get a pack and you want to be on one of these episodes, we'd love to have another pack.
Yes, we host the pack popping parties here on Unbox Live. That's a hard one to say. We'll get it right. Pack popping party. But thank you guys again for joining. This was amazing. Ready to close it out. All right.
Heck yeah, man. All right. Bye, everyone.
Peace.